Richard don't deserve to win an award.
So if you put Ada in front of an urban, young, white audience, would he be able to translate that?
I wouldn't go for this definitely, personally. It's just like, come on, like, move on.
I don't find it that funny.
He just doesn't enjoy keeping great.
I just pick names based on the names I've heard of. And I've heard his name, so.
People are not necessarily that funny, but they're fantastic. Their marketing is second to none, or maybe through the media they work in, they're able to reach people.
I think he's funny. I think he deserves respect. He didn't get enough recognition. He was hard 3 years ago.
3 years. You might have had maybe a really busy 2010. 2011 might have been a bit quiet, and 2012 you might still bob it.
Because it's not just personal preference, from an audience point of view. Who actually has been going up? Who do I want to see?
Are we saying they have to have worked the urban?
Well, it's the Urban Comedy Awards.
It is an urban award.
5 rounds in a one show, love to laugh, emotion.
I'm Matthew Richmond, I'm managed a crazy show, and I've been about helping out on shows as well.
Sarah Moore, I run Digital Productions, I manage comedians and entertainers, and I've been promoting shows for about 25 years.
TA Lola, run Black Great Global, organise concerts and manage artists.
I'm Darren Watson, in the World Show, with my brother, Junior Watson, co-founder.
My question though, we're talking about the scene, yes, but how far back do we go in, like you said? Because I based my names on the last 3 years.
Richard don't deserve to win an award. He hasn't hit the stage since.
He's on your list.
I know because he's because he's in there.
It's about Richard. You almost saying to comedians to get into this, to be nominated, you don't even have to do any work.
But at the same time, you've talked about contribution to scene, and Richard's importance cannot be underestimated because he was the first comedian. Him and Gina were the first comedians to come in off the mat.
But that's a whole different category. Paul Chowdhury 3 or 4 years ago, he was hard. Not relevant now.
With the audience or with promoters?
There is a way of balancing. I mean, I would say Slim has done it. You know, he's a regular on Jongleurs, he's a regular on Glee, he works with Comic Boys, but you still see him doing the urban stuff. And the only reason he doesn't do more is I have to turn it down because I can't have him on 25,000 flyers all in the same period of time.
There should have been one other category on here, like one other column, and that should have been crossover appeal, right? So if you put Ada in front of an urban, young, white audience, would he be able to translate that?
I don't even think you could have him like with even Babatunde and Tumbi, and I think he's the next level below that.
Look at Ada and his work and what he's put in. That deserves some sort of platform, you know?
He's had a fantastic year though, and taking the step with a one-man show and everything. So.
And he's done very well with that.
Tony's the most versatile, actually, out of everyone there. He's done everything from the big shows to the urban scene. He's done cruises, you know, he's the most versatile.
And when he has appeared on the urban bills, which isn't that often, he's ripped it up.
I think he should be in there. I would have Kane instead of Richard, to be honest.
The best male comedian, be a comedian who either has done a one-man show by themselves or can sell out a one-man show.
He somehow hasn't reached that sort of sell out a show in his own name, right? And yet I've put him on bills with people who theoretically would sell more tickets than him, and he's kicked them to the floor.
Based on that, obviously not being biased because I don't represent him anymore, but doing the Indigo, he's done a couple of shows at the Indigo, he's toured, he's sold out venues.
Not as a host, not as an entertainer, not as a personality, not as a
stand-up comedian. Okay, let me answer that question, right? What is stand-up comedy? Standing up and making people laugh. Does Eddie Caddy achieve that? Yes.
Tears it up in the host category, tears it up, makes people laugh. Put Cat on to do a set, and for whatever reason, it flops. I put Kojo on my list as well because I just think, again, if we're looking at his influence on urban comedy, then actually Kojo now is massive. Is he the best stand-up comic?
No.
probably
They're like people that can tell the craft of telling jokes. It's an art. It's an art.
So we can't look at people like Eddie and Kojo and not celebrate them. They've taken urban comedy into mainstream TV. They've been on the news. They've been in broadsheets. So I would never put a comedian who hasn't even done a one-man show to be the best known comedian over these names.
You want an agreement with Blender?
You have to put Felicity in, I think.
Yeah, she's on my list. You know what?
I wouldn't go for this yet. It's just like, come on, like, move on. You know what I mean? No disrespect. It's like, yeah.
Earlier, between best male, best female, best everything, and the old show. She's fantastic.
It doesn't work.
She'll do the other stuff. Gina Yashiro, yeah? Her status, yeah? And who she is and what she's done in the game. You can't even compare her to anybody else. Really on that.
I agree.
On that, she shouldn't even be in the same group because she's in America on this UGJ Leno show and doing all these big things, selling at the Empire how many times, and then you can't have her competing with Donna Smith, Miss London.
She's out
she's
that league,
gone.
yeah, absolutely.
Gone.
Way
You
out.
know what I mean?
I
I think Miss London has to go in there, even though she hasn't done
Yeah,
much.
because she's relevant, she's now on it.
For me, she's not. She's a shout. Yeah, more other people find it, but it's not about me. I'm saying, and who else? Miss Jocelyn is an actor more. Who else? Abba Vidal doesn't want to really do urban stuff.
She has done, that's the thing.
But London again hasn't done as many shows. Even when you look at compare Donovan and London, how many shows has London done this year? Right, then it's London.
I put Donna through before London.
You put Donovan before London.
That's because I don't find Miss London funny.
Jamie's not Jamie. He just doesn't make it great.
He's kind of taking a year out, isn't he? But I like this man. I like this man and Jamie actually.
The last show we had in Camden, Kevin J was the headliner most of the show. So for me, I put him in there.
Axel definitely, he's someone that you put on the flyer and he attracts people.
He attracts people, his material, he's always trying out new material, he's very adventurous like that, he's got a great attitude, that's why Junior Booker.
Junior Booker?
I like Junior.
Someone reminded me, his improvement, anyone, because he actually went from being bad to being.
Why it seems like Kevin has been around for ages? Because he's achieved amazing things. He's doing big shows. I think his third or fourth show was supporting Kojo. You know what I mean? He went right in there. Eddie Caddy was bringing him into his shows. So it seems like he's been around for ages, but he's a newcomer.
B-Money's quick, he can't, he's quick, he seems like he's quick.
Is he the one now?
So basically, what you're saying, Dizzle's the most relevant for this category.
No,
I'd say Shabba. I'd say Shabba.
never seen KG.
No, I've never seen KG in fairness, so I have to sit out of that one.
Travis.
Travis is it. Travis is kind of just an inspiration.
In terms of numbers, the only ones that are on those numbers are Don't Jealous Me and Vagina. They're hit millions, whereas everyone else is. I know it's not just views, but if you're talking public and exposure wise, and they're in the millions, whereas everyone else is on the tens, maybe hundreds of thousands.
Still comedy.
UGJ and Ashley, because they're actors who do a lot of comedy sketches, who work that circuit all the time.
That's right.
They're very funny, very talented.
Because what they do can't go up on stage. You won't work the same way. But you have to take the wisdom. It hasn't done something which makes people laugh.
I think that inclusivity is very important.
Some of these names, like someone like Jazzy, he had a show on Channel U and stuff. You know what I mean? Well, it's like,
And you got moved a couple weeks ago.
Jason Lewis.
I would put Jason in, personally.
Right now.
You see, Toju came on the scene a long time
18,
ago. You know, back in the original sort of second wave, I call it. When you have a white person doing something that if a black person did it, it wouldn't be funny.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about that personally. I'm not sure about the humour in it personally. I know people find it funny, but...
So, who made it? come down to the Ink Bar O2. Sunday, 16th of September for the You Got Jokes Comedy Awards nominations party. And don't forget to cast your votes. They count too.